Hi everyone, this is Melinda from MTZ Crew Designs. Welcome back to another tutorial from the Paint Couture creative team. Today I'll show you how I gave this average side table a colorful and interesting glow up with the help of products from Paint Couture Paints. Okay, let's get started. I've had this table in my inventory for a while and I wasn't sure what direction to go with it, but koi fish seemed like a fun idea. So I started out by cleaning it up with Paint Couture's Fresh Start, which is an amazing solution for cleaning wood surfaces. It's formulated to remove grit, grime, debris, and degrease your surface to prep for painting. Since the entire table has now been cleaned and scuff sanded, I'm now applying Simply White from Paint Couture's chalk style line to the surface before I apply the decoupage paper. Having the color white underneath my decoupage paper will provide for the most bright and crisp color after adhering the paper. I'm now using Paint Couture's Decoupage Medium in matte to apply the paper. This Decoupage Medium is a great choice for tabletops because it is water resistant and it has a great low luster finish. It can be used on a variety of surfaces for gluing, varnishing, and transferring techniques. Now, in anticipation of working on this koi fish table, I prepared these resin castings months ago using rapid casting resin from Capital Crafts. And if you don't already know, this is one of the most fantastic new products from Capital Crafts by Paint Couture. It's a simple two-step process for making the most beautiful castings for any of your DIY projects. Once you've poured the resin, the casting can be removed in 10 minutes or less, and it comes in black and white. But for this particular project, I poured the castings in white, and then I just applied them to the table using a wood glue. Next, I'm going to start applying Paint Couture's Crust, which is one of my favorite ways to achieve an aged or crusty look to furniture and crafts. Crust is an acrylic plaster speckled with a natural mineral from the earth. So there's no priming needed before applying crust, and you can apply it with a brush, a roller, or a trowel, or in this case, I'm using a silicone brush and a wooden popsicle stick. They work well for me, so that's what I use. The neat thing about crust is you can just have fun with it. You can leave it crusty or smooth it out, but in this case, I decided to do both because I want to add an element of different textures that you might see in an actual koi pond. Now, I personally do not like throwing away usable scraps of decoupage paper, but sometimes the piece you want to use for a project doesn't work for the intended space. So I want to show you one of my favorite ways to utilize these scraps in a way that is cohesive for a project like this. This particular decoupage paper is rather thick, and if you try to paint around the edges, you'll see a distinct line of where the decoupage paper ends and the paint begins. So this is one way that you can remedy that. This is a neat trick that I learned from my friend Heike from Heike's Furniture Art. I suggest turning the paper over to the other side where the color is less vivid. Then you'll use one of these pet grooming brushes with the metal teeth and just gently brush the edges of the paper from side to side until it becomes frayed like this. Of course, there are many ways to texturize a decoupage paper, but this is one of my favorite techniques to use when I'm applying a thicker paper. And so I'm going to use the same Paint Couture Decoupage Medium and Matte to apply this piece down below on this layer of the table. So all of my resin castings are now securely applied onto the table. And so I'm going to start painting over them and the rest of the table with chalk style paint in pitch black. The black is going to be a really great contrast for all of the metallic colors to come, and it's a really good base. After the pitch black is dry, I'll start off with Sea Maven from the Paint Couture Luxe Metallic line of paints. I'm going to apply this all around the sides of the table, in between where the fish and the lily pads are, because I want it to have the illusion of water, of course, as the fish would be swimming in the water. Then I'm going to apply slate blue, also from the Luxe Metallic line, to the legs of the table for a little bit of contrast. Now I'm going to start adding several coordinating colors from the Luxe Metallic line to create a fun blend around this decoupage paper. I'll pull several colors that I see inside of the paper that will pair nicely with the overall theme. For this particular blend, I'm starting off with Meadow all over the base, and then I'll add Gemstone, Royal Silk, Harvest Maple, and Iris, and I'm just going to stipple them on in various spots and then blend in the colors. I'm now using those same metallic colors to paint over the resin castings. Paint Couture's metallic paints have intense, brilliant, and excellent coverage. If you'll notice, I'm using smaller bottles of these paints because just a little bit goes a very long way. I really love that about Paint Couture's metallic line of paints. I've also used some metallic pastes and waxes to add additional dimension with the resin castings. However, over these lily pad castings, I'm going to dry brush the color lily pad from the Luxe Metallic line. It's literally the most amazing green metallic paint. Also to build some dimension of color, and lily pad is probably one of my absolute favorite colors from Paint Couture's metallic line of paints. Now on this top layer, I'm applying that same blend of metallic colors that I used on the bottom layer. These are the same exact colors though. Another element that I'm adding to this table is this really cool transfer from Redesign with Prima. It's called Modernist Floral. It has these amazing purples and oranges that coordinate really well with this design. And I'm just cutting them in a way that will work to frame this decoupage paper, but also showcase that cool metallic blend that I have there. Now I'm going to give the top of the table 2 coats of Paint Couture's Topcoat in semi-gloss. I'm using Paint Couture's 2-inch synthetic brush, and I'm just careful not to overwork the top coat. Paint Couture's brushes are a dream to work with, and they clean up really nicely. After all of the paint is dry on the decoupage papers, I'm going to use Redesign with Prima's gold gilding marker to outline some of the designs in the decoupage paper and on the transfer. This is just a fun thing I like to do to add some sparkle and shine, because who doesn't like that? And as one final embellishment, I'm going to use a gold gilding wax along a few areas of the table for some more of that wow factor. Yay! And here she is. This little koi fish table was so much fun to create. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. And that wraps it up for today's tutorial. Again, I'm Melinda from MTZ Crew Designs. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. And if I've inspired you to create with any of Paint Couture's paint products, please feel free to use my affiliate link that will be located down below, along with a full list of all the products that I used today. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of the amazing content that our Paint Couture creative team is putting together for you. Thanks a lot. Bye.